Good morning, students. Now, this particular chapter, it is a very important concept. The reason is this concept is used in many branches of mathematics and many chapters that you are going to study. So, in the mathematics that we are studying, no, the present day mathematics, no, we have to have, this is the basic knowledge about sets that you should have, so that you can understand the next topic would be relation function. Afterwards, no, we will be studying about calculus, analytical geometry. For all of them, no, we should have a good knowledge of set. So, set is a common word we use when we talk to one another, but mathematically it has got a different definition. Now, let us consider first the basic definition of set, then the types of sets, the notation, the method, the way we have to represent a set, the operations that can be done, and the problems connected with them. Okay. First, I will be considering some example. I will give you some collection. Now, let me take the first collection. Say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, etc. Now, 3, 5, 7, 9, etc. 2, 4, 6, 8, etc. Now, elephant, sparrow, bench, pencil. Now, you just observe, these are all collections. This is some I have collected some quantities here. You can see that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What type of numbers are they? We call them as a natural numbers. And all of them know they are natural numbers. Come to this one. 3, 5, 7, 9, etc., etc. What type of numbers are they? Odd numbers. What are 2, 4, 6, 8? They are even numbers. So, these are all odd numbers, these are all even numbers, these are all natural numbers. That means that the numbers that we are considering are of the same type. Now, I am not mixing the odd number with the even number or even number with the odd number. Of course, here I am considering the number, the natural numbers, it is in a continuous way. Look at the last collection here, elephant, sparrow, bench and pencil. Elephant means it is an animal, it is a bird, it is a bench, it is an object, pencil what we used to write. So, all of them know they are of different type. See, all of them are collection. This is a collection, this is a collection, this is a collection, this is a collection. You take one more example. Say, Rama, Rahim, John, Lakshmi. Look at this one. All of them are proper nouns here, names of persons here. Rama, Rahim, John and Lakshmi, all of them, again, all of them are of the same type. See, all of them are collections, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have considered 5 collections here. Out of these 5 collections, in the 4, first one, second one, third one and the last one, no, all of them are of the same type. They have a common property, they possess a common property. Whereas the last, this one, the fourth collection, though we can call it as a collection, they are of different type. So, this collection, we do not call it as a set. The other one, other 4, no, because they are of the same type, we call it as a set. This is a set of natural numbers, set of odd numbers, set of even numbers, set of the names or proper nouns. Now, this, though it is a collection, we cannot call it as a set here. So, how do you define a set here? A set is a well-defined collection of objects. That well-defined is an important word. What do you mean by well-defined is, they should possess, they should have a common property, or all those quantities should be of the same type. That is the meaning of that one. See, this particular set, no, it is important. You have to understand each and everything, every concept clearly. Now, the definition, if they ask you define a set, if for a 1 mark question, if it is asked, no, you have to write like this. A set is a collection of well-defined objects. That is a sentence you have to use. So, that word well-defined is very important here. So, well defined means the meaning is like this: all of them should have a common property, or all of them should be of the same type. Whereas this fourth, though it is a collection, I don't call it as a set. Now, it can be of any type, need not be always the numbers here. The collection can be of anything. For example, the collection of students of first year PUC, the collection of students of first PUC taking PCMB combination or taking PCMC combination or EBAC combination. So whatever may be that one, when I say the set of students having PCMB as an optional subject means all those who take PCMB, they come to that particular collection. So we can call it as a set. Sometimes though, an equation would be given to you. For example, x square minus 4x plus 3 equal to 0. You can see that it is a quadratic equation. It's a quadratic equation. You can factorize this one. When you factorize, you are getting the factors to be x minus 3 into x minus 1. Now, when you equate it to 0, we get the values of x to be equal to 1 and 3. So, the solution of the equation, it forms a set, means I can say that 1 and 3 are the elements of the particular set. So, I can give any example. So, a set is a well-defined collection of objects. Now, the collection should be, collection means they well-defined means they should be of the same property. They should be of the same type. They should have a common property. They should possess a common property. All the elements belonging to that one should be of the same type. Now here, next thing, this is a definition. Next thing is, how do you denote a set? A set is always denoted using the capital letters. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, etc., X, Y, Z, any, but it should be capital letter. That is, we use the capital letters of the English alphabet to denote a set. It's for the notation purpose. Next, the small letters are used, A, B, C, D, etc. We use to denote the objects, or the objects belonging to the set here. So, the capital letters are used to denote a set and small letters are used to denote the objects of the particular set. Now, I have used the word objects. They are also called as elements or members. Elements or members. Any one word you can use. Usually we say elements of a set, though in the definition I say it is a well-defined collection of objects, we say, because in the beginning we consider objects. Those objects you can call objects or elements or members of a set. So the members or elements are denoted by small letters. The sets are denoted by capital letters. Now next thing is, this is only notation. How to write them? These elements or members or objects of a set are always should be enclosed in a pair of flower brackets, that is like this. The set containing the numbers 1, 3, 5. Flower bracket means we write like this. So, set A is equal to 1, 3, 5. Here, order is not important because it is only a collection. It's only a collection means we just write them together. If I write it like this, 5, 3, 1, or if I write 5, 1, 3 or 1, 5, 3, it doesn't make any difference at all. Here order is immaterial. That means it is, we need not bother about the order here. 1, 5, 3 you can write 3, 1, 5 or 5, 1, 3, whatever may be that one. Because it is only a collection. As it is, it doesn't have any value. Whatever numbers are in that particular set, whatever quantities, whatever objects, whatever elements are there, we simply write them inside a pair of flower brackets and denote it with a capital letter of the English alphabet. So this is the notation. Or I can say, write B is containing say 2, 4, 6, 8. So it is a set containing the odd numbers, set containing the even numbers, or you can write it as it is containing, suppose the names I am right, I wrote the example Rama, Rahim, John, like this. So it is containing the names of the students here, names of the persons. This is an odd even number, this is an odd number. Like this, we have to use the capital letter to denote a set. and small letters to denote the elements, or in general I can write like this, that is A, B, C, etc., etc. You can write X, Y, Z. Here you have to use only the small letters for the members. So these are the information about, that is only the about the definition and the notation of a particular set, of a set here. So the sets are denoted by using the capital letters, the elements are denoted using the small letters, and the members, the objects of the set are called as elements or members here, and always they have to be enclosed in a pair of flower brackets. But in mathematics now, some standard letters we use to denote a particular set here. You are already familiar, I hope, in the lower classes. N, capital N, denotes the set of natural numbers. Set of natural numbers. What do you mean by natural number? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like that. So I can write it as 1, 2, 3, 4, because you cannot write the last element of this one, we just put some dashes there. Now set of natural numbers. Now sometimes we use I, or Z can also be used here. This is set of integers. Set of integers. When I say integer, it can be a positive integer, it can be a negative integer, and also 0 is included. You observe in the set of the natural numbers, the numbers start from 1 here, 0 is not included. Whereas in the set of integers, you can write like this, dash, minus 3, minus 2, minus 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, etc. Or it can also be represented like this, 0, plus or minus 1, plus or minus 2, plus or minus 3, etc. Okay, writing them together because it is containing only the integers. Now, the next is Q. Q means set of the rational numbers. The letter Q, or we are using capital letter only, set of rational numbers. Set of rational numbers. I hope you remember the definition of a rational number. What do you mean by a rational number? A rational number is a number which can be written in the form P by Q. Any number which can be expressed in the form P by Q, where P and Q are integers. And Q is not equal to 0, because if Q has taken the value 0, we will be dividing by 0, which is not defined in mathematics. Therefore, any number of the form P by Q where P and Q are integers and Q not equal to 0 is called a rational number. So the set Q, that capital letter Q, we use to denote the set of the rational numbers. Sometimes we use Q dash to denote the irrational number. These are all standard sets. So this irrational number, sometimes it varies from book to book or person to person. But this always, wherever we use the word Q, letter Q, it denotes only the set of the rational numbers. The next is capital R. Now it is the set of real numbers. Set of the real numbers. When I say real number, all the numbers that I have told earlier will be included. So a real number means the positive, negative integers, 0 included, positive, negative, rational numbers, positive, negative, irrational numbers, all of them are included. We call it as the real number. So capital R denotes the set of the real numbers. So N for set of natural numbers, I or Z for set of integers, Q for set of rational numbers, R for set of the real numbers. Sometimes we use Z plus like this, or I plus or Z plus. What do you mean by this is, it is set of only positive integers. Set of positive integers. Suppose I write only Z here, it includes a negative integers also. So here only set of positive integers. Positive integers. Similarly, if I write Q plus Q plus, it is set of positive rational numbers. Positive rational numbers. R plus, if you write, what can be that one? Set of positive real numbers. Okay. So if you simply write Z, Q and R, set of integer, set of rational number, set of real number. When you write this plus here, okay, superscript we say, that is written above this one, we consider that set to be containing the set of positive integer, set of positive rational numbers, set of positive real numbers. Now, this is the information about set. So, what we had learnt now, a set is a well-defined collection of objects, and sets are denoted by capital letters. The objects or elements or members of the set are denoted by small letters, and the members, they are enclosed in a pair of flower brackets. Now these are the standard set we are having: I, N, I or Z, Q and R. So if you write a plus above that one, they denote the sets containing only the positive number, positive integer, positive rational number, positive real number. Now I'll give some example. Now set of letters of the word school. I'll ask you like this: write the set containing the letters of the word school. Letters of the word school. So let me denote the set by A. Any letter you can use. Now, how many letters are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Look here, the letter O is repeated. So when it is repeated, you need not write it 2 times. If you write only once, it is enough. So write here S, C, H, O and L. Now these elements, now they have to be separated by commas. So they have to be enclosed in the flower bracket. They should be separated by comma. See, though O is repeated twice in the word, you need to write it 2 times. Here I told you the order is immaterial. You can write here, first you can write H here, then O, then L, then S, then C, like that. Because remember, set is only a collection. As it is now, it doesn't have any value or anything. It is only a collection of this one. So if they ask you, write the set containing the letters of this one. If the letter is repeated, then you can write only once about this one. Now, another example. Write the set containing the solution of the, write the set containing the solution of the equation. Solution of the equation. Write the set containing the solutions of the equation. Clearly you see that it is a quadratic equation. Quadratic equation means how many values of x we can calculate? 2 values. That is what we have to do. Either you can use the formula or you can factorize that one. Look at the middle number. It is plus 1. Look at the end number. It is minus 2, isn't it? So that I hope remember the rule. You have to split the middle number in such a way that the product should be minus 2, the sum should be plus 1. How can you do that one? This minus 2 can be split as 2 and minus 1. So when you multiply, it is 2 into minus 1 is minus 2. 2 minus 1 would be equal to plus 1. That means when you factorize this one, it is 2x minus 1x minus 2 equal to 0. Now factorizing means we should develop a common factor. X into x plus 2 minus 1 into x plus 2. Here these two should be one and the same. Then only we call it as a common factor which can be taken outside. Now what is remaining? X minus 1. That implies that x can have the value minus 2 or it can have the value 1. So what I have told you, you have to find the set of the solutions of the equation. What are the solutions here? Minus 2 and plus 1. Therefore, I can write the set B contains the elements minus 2 and plus 1. Now, one more example I am giving. I am asking you to write the set of even numbers between certain number. Set of even numbers between 11 and 25. You observe both 11 and 25 are odd numbers. Now the elements lying between, the even integers lying between 11 and 25. Let me call it as C. After 11, which is the first even number, 12, then 14, then 16, then 18, 20, 22 and 24. Okay, so these are the elements, these are the even numbers. These are the even numbers that occur between 11 and 25, greater than 11, less than 25. So this is how you have to represent a set. That is, whatever may be the elements, there may be any number of elements, we will be writing them inside the inside a pair of flower brackets. Each one should be separated by a comma. Now, let me consider a set. Take a set A containing some elements here. 1, 2, 3, 4. How many elements are there? There are 4 elements here. So this set A is containing 4 elements here. Look here, 1 is in the set A, 2 is in the set A, 3 is in the set A, 4 is in the set A. Now this we say, but in while we have to use a notation to express this one. Each one we need a tiny sentence. We say, mathematically we use the word 1 belongs to A. We don't say 1 is in the set A. We use the word 1 belongs to A, and it is written, write 1 like this, and this is the notation we have to use. Write it like this, it is 1 belongs to A. Remember these notations properly. We read it like this, 1 belongs to A, and we write it as 1, this is the notation for the word belongs to. So I can write 2 belongs to A, 3 belongs to A, 4 belongs to A. Now let me take the number 5. Is it in the set A? No. We can see that there are only 4 elements here. 5 is not in the set A, isn't it? So how do you say that one? 5 does not belong to the set A. So write like this and cancel this one. And write does not belong. Right, you have to write it, you have to pronounce it properly. 1 belongs to A, 2 belongs to A, 3 belongs to A, 4 belongs to A, 5 does not belong to A. You have learnt about this one. Equal we write, it is not equal, we cancel that one. Similarly, we use the symbol, cancel that one. And how do you read that one? 5 does not belong to A. Now, this is one you have to remember. So that is, that notation belongs, you have to remember. We don't say it is in the set A, it is not in the set A like that. Belongs to the technical, the mathematical word we use for this one. Now, I am going to give you some collections here. You have to tell me, you can consider which will be a set or which will not be a set. Now, you consider any language. Kannada, English, Hindi, whatever, Tamil, Telugu, whatever may be that one. Each language has a certain number of alphabets. So when you take the alphabets of a particular language, can we call it as a set? Certainly. Let me take English. A, B, C, D, etc., X, Y, Z. Isn't it? There are 26 alphabets in the English language. Similarly in Kannada, we have got 52 objects. So each language has a different number of alphabets here. Now you can see, when you take the collection of them, you observe that all of them are only alphabets of the English language. No other element is present here. Certainly, we can call it as a set. So, alphabets of any language for that matter. Alphabets of any language, if they ask you, is it a set? Certainly, you can say it is a set. Why it is a set? Because all of them possess a common property. That means all of them are of the same type, or all of them are alphabets of the same language. Suppose I take a few alphabets of Kannada, few alphabets of English, if I mix it, we cannot call it because they are of different type. Of English means we should have only English alphabets. Kannada means Kannada alphabets. Hindi means Hindi alphabets. Like that, we should have the same type of quantities inside the flower bracket. Then we can call it as a set here. Now, all the collections, we cannot call it as a set. Next is, suppose I take a number 50. The collection of natural numbers less than 50 what you can write that one, it is starting with 1, 2, etc. up to 40. Strictly less than 50 I am saying. We can call it as a set because all of them are natural numbers. So the natural numbers less than 50 because we don't have any other number here. All of them are natural numbers only. Therefore, we can call it as a set. So it is a collection which can be considered as a set. Now let me take another example. Now I am considering a collection here, say cow, bird and desk and eraser. It is a collection, no doubt. It is some collection here. One is an element, one is a bird, it's a bird here, desk is some furniture and eraser we are using to write or erase that one. So all of them are different types. Though it is a collection, we cannot call it as a set. So what's the reason that you can give? The elements or the members of the collection, they are not of the same type. They are of different types. Therefore, we cannot call it as a set here. Though it is a collection, it cannot be called a set here. Similarly, collection of students of a class. Suppose I take first year PUC classes, first year PUC science classes. So all those students of a particular college, let's say Gopaswamy PU college. Now all the students of science of first year PUC classes, they come under that particular collection. The boy student can be taking any combination, PCMB, PCMC, PCME, whatever may be the combination. If a student has selected a science combination, he comes into that collection. So certainly we can call it as a set because we are having the same type of objects. All of them possess a common property. They are all students of science like this. So what we have learnt in today's session, we have learnt about the definition of a set. A set is a well-defined collection of objects, and objects are also called as elements or members. Sets are denoted by capital letters of English alphabet, and the elements are denoted by small letters of the English alphabet, and the elements are enclosed in a pair of flower brackets separated by comma. Now, if an element is in the set A, we say that element belongs to A, and the notation, I have given you the notation. If the element is not there, we write the same notation, cancel that one, then we read it as the element does not belong to the set here. So, in this session, you just go through all of them, understand the definition, the procedure, how to denote that one, everything clearly. In the coming session, I am going to give you some more information about the set. Thank you.